Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Planning with Raven. So, today's topic is 5 not so smart money moves that we do today. Of course, these are not the only top 5 that's out there. However, these are my top 5 that I feel strong about. And I've been through this like with friends, family, even me personally. So, let's get to it. The first one is putting away more than you can afford. Okay, so there's no order for any of these. This is just me throwing this stuff out there. So basically, what that means is either investing in your 401k, small investments. I know a lot of people have money market accounts, personal savings. The one that we're going to be talking about today is going to be your 401k. So, generally, that is a great idea, right? It's the easiest way to basically make money off of your money. If your employer is willing to match your contribution up to a certain level, you should contribute to at least that level, or at least that's what we've been told, and at least that's what we go by. If not, you're basically leaving free money on the table. So that's kind of like drawn into our heads that we have to match up to whatever our employers are willing to contribute to. So, but in your enthusiasm, don't deprive yourself of not having enough cash for your everyday purchases. So what that means is once your money is in either 401k or ACD, IRAs, or any type of similar investments, you usually have to pay a penalty fee. Now, I'm all about budgeting and saving money. Like, let's not spend more than we really have to. So, of course, saving is super important. We always want to have a little cushion to fall back on in case of emergencies, right? So if you do find yourself living paycheck to paycheck, which let's face it, some of us do, then the best solution for you right now would be to create a emergency fund. So the reason why I say this is because emergency funds, there's no cost to you. You have the ability to dip in and out of that account as need be. Of course, there's regulations on that, federal regulations, but that's a different topic. However, there are no penalties on dipping into an emergency fund. Once you are in a stable position, of course, you want to match that percent that your employer is willing to contribute, and you want to invest, you want to get IRAs, etc. But in the beginning, do not put away more money than you can afford because you're going to be struggling to make ends meet. You're going to be stressing for no reason. Let's get rid of that stress. So the second one. So remember, there is no order for these, but the second one is keeping a high health insurance deductible. So keeping a high health insurance deductible. All right, so this one's super duper important. So basically, taking on high health insurance deductibles can lower your monthly premiums, right, and qualify you for health savings accounts. For many policyholders, though, this is the right approach, particularly if you are healthy, very healthy. So, however, people with a high deductible often are reluctant to seek out care because they fear that when they're sick or if they're injured that they're going to have to pay these high out of pocket costs, so they really don't want to go to the doctor and get checked. And so what that means is don't automatically opt for the cheapest monthly premium and the highest deductible just so you have those cheap monthly payments. Consider your current health and any issues, especially if you have kids who are on your insurance. Make sure you think about that. That way you can address them within the upcoming year. Now, everyone knows I'm all about planning and making sure that you're budgeting for your future. Now, this is huge. Health insurance is huge. So, a high deductible can reduce your premium, but you might end up paying even more out of pocket if you have to go into the doctor often for that year, or require any ongoing health services because, you know, it's funny because we never know what's going to happen in the future, but if you plan for it based on what's going on with your current life, it kind of helps you see, especially for health insurance, it's going to help you see what you potentially would have to pay for any health issues that you may have. Of course, we can't predict the future, but it's always good to kind of prepare yourself. So that's number two. The third one, skipping specific insurance types. Now, skipping specific insurance types. Okay, so, oh my God, my handwriting is horrible tonight, guys. But you get what I'm doing. So there are some insurance products that are just not worth your money, right? We all know this. You go for what is it, like your auto insurance, you can go for home insurance, those two, but there are just some that are just super vital to your financial security. So we know about the auto, we know about the homeowners, but there are other types of insurances such as rentals insurance, life insurance, and disability insurance also can be very critical to your financial well-being long term. Let's think long term. Let's plan ahead. So saving a few bucks by not buying disability insurance seems wise. Now, I know a lot of people don't know about disability insurance. When you have time, definitely look it up. And if you're interested, I'm more than happy to do a video on it. But for disability insurance, it may seem wise not to buy it now because you're saving a couple of dollars in your monthly transactions that you're making. But when you get injured and you can't work, then what? So know your financial situation, then insure yourself accordingly. If you think about it this way, health insurance will pay for your medical bills, but if you're sick and you can't work, who's going to pay for those other bills that are ongoing that just don't go away? Definitely something to think about and consider when you are picking your insurances for the year. The fourth one. Now, this one, leasing a car. This one's kind of interesting. So, many drivers like to have new cars every 2 to 3 years. It's just like your phone, right? You want to stay current with what's going on in today's world. And so leasing a vehicle is typically cheaper than buying a new one every couple of years, right? As we know, vehicles are getting so much better with technology. There's so much like gadgets in new vehicles. And of course, you want to get it because everyone else has it. And who wants to pay 50, 60K for a new vehicle when you can just go and you can lease a vehicle, right? So there are a number of ways that leasing a vehicle can end up costing you more money, though. Hear me out. We're all about planning, so we need to plan ahead. If the car is returned in less than pristine condition or has been like driven more than the agreed upon miles, you may face sizable penalties and fees. So it's super important that when you go in there, so the thing is, I have friends who lease vehicles. I've never been one to lease a vehicle, so I really don't find the justification in leasing a vehicle because here's the thing. When you want to go out and travel and you want to take your vehicle, who is a car dealership to tell you that you can't drive a certain amount of miles? You should be able to have the flexibility to do what you want when you want, especially when it comes to your vehicle. Like, I'm the type to hop in the car and let's just go. Let's just go do something fun. But when you're leasing a vehicle, sometimes you don't have that option because you want to make sure you stay under the amount of miles that you basically signed for. So again, if you are a person to lease a vehicle, more power to you, but carefully read and analyze the lease agreement before you actually commit to leasing that vehicle. Please, please, please. Okay, so the last one, I'm going to put it right here. No, I need space. So this is the very last one, step or number 5. So transferring, my handwriting is horrible tonight. Oh my God. Transferring balances to a 0% interest credit card. Now, This one, if I had to put these in order, this would definitely be one of my top two. So, I mean, let's talk about this. So, are you deeply in debt? A lot of us are, right? So it can be tempting to basically transfer your debt from a high interest card that you're just getting charged consistently monthly and it's just adding up so fast. So it can definitely be tempting to transfer your debt from a high interest card to another card that's offering you that 0% interest, right? So think about it. This can be a good way to save money, but there are also drawbacks, those lovely drawbacks. So, for starters, you would typically pay a transfer fee on the amount you're moving to the new card. And a lot of creditors definitely do charge this, and it's always based on the amount that you're moving over. It's not an actual set credit card balance transfer fee that's being charged. And if you don't pay the balance on the new car by the time the 0% interest expires, most creditors I've seen give 12 months. Some actually give 15 months. I've seen Citi. I don't know if you guys heard of Citi, but Citi does that. So you will again be saddled with interest if you don't pay the card off, though, in the 12 to 15 months that you have agreed upon with that creditor. And then let's just say you also keep spending with the other card. You're like, you know what? These cards are active. I've resolved the balances. I can use these free will. Let's just say you want to go have a spa day, and then a spa day turns into an emergency that just happens to come up. Those lovely pitfalls that just happen because that's how life is. And then let's just say you end up missing a payment, and then you start racking up penalty fees and you know, the list goes on because although you transfer your balance over to a 0% credit card, let's not forget you still get charged late fees if you're not making those monthly payments. So if you miss a payment, you do get charged a fee typically. So in short term, it's easy to transfer the money to a new card, but end up in a worse financial shape than you did when you started because now you have a balance on this new credit card balance transfer. You're making those payments, but then you're still using your other credit card. So definitely something to consider. To be completely honest with you, that just comes with just being like financially secure and being able to restrain yourself from doing the fun things that we all love to do. So here are my top five not so smart money moves that we all do today. I hope everyone had a good time watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And also, I would love to hear feedback. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good night.